What's up guys, how's it going, and welcome to the Midnight channel. This is an interesting video today as I read a lot of the comments, guys. So every time that you guys comment here, every time that you guys go and tell me something, I actually go out of my way to read all of it, and I kind of see where you're coming from. And I like participating in conversation with you guys in the comments, so I definitely do appreciate whenever you guys leave a comment. So today's video is regarding that particularly. Lately, in a lot of videos, both in my Spanish channel and the English channel, I have seen people ask whether you have to play other Shin Megami Tensei games to understand Shin Megami Tensei V, or whether you should play other Shin Megami Tensei games before you play Shin Megami Tensei V. And just as a quick note before we actually continue here, you do not have to play any game to enjoy Shin Megami Tensei V. There's no requirements whatsoever. These are just games that I feel like you should definitely play because I like them, or because I feel like they will enhance your experience, they will make it better. But you, by any means, you don't have to play them. It's not a requirement or anything like that. Although they are numbered, the Shin Megami Tensei games are standalone experiences. And that particular aspect actually did catch me a little bit by surprise, and not because I don't think that you should play other games before playing Shin Megami Tensei 5, but because it got me thinking, yeah, there's a couple games that you could play before Shin Megami Tensei 5, and it will probably enhance your experience more because you are more knowledgeable as far as how the games work and everything like that, mechanic-wise or anything like that. So this is today's video here, just gonna discuss about 3 games that I think that you should play for different reasons, of course. And definitely, all of these games, although they are all Shin Megami Tensei games, they are definitely very different from one another. I think that you will benefit having different experiences with Shin Megami Tensei games, as I believe every game does offer some kind of different substance. They all have a different thing that makes them unique from one another, and they're all really different games. Truthfully, there's no right or wrong answer on these ones. I believe you should play any game you can before SMTV, just to enhance your experience, just to get more out of there and everything like that. Needless to say, no Persona games is in this particular list of games that you should play. You should definitely play Persona games if you like them, but this was more geared towards Shin Megami Tensei, kind of giving you more about the juice of what the series is about and everything. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump right into it here with number 1, and that's gonna be Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne. Now, the HD remaster just recently came out and makes this game one of the most accessible games on the Shin Megami Tensei line to date. That is this to say that this game is available in the PS2, PS3, obviously through emulation, PlayStation 4, and Switch. So that means that you have 5 different options where to play the game or whatever. And a lot of people have a lot of things to say about this game, but I think this game is a really good game, and it really does have a lot of the good aspects that make a Shin Megami Tensei game unique to you and to anybody that plays these games. Majority, I think, the reason why I feel you should play this game is because through a lot of the conversation and a lot of the interviews that we had talked with the different director and the people who are working on this game, it does look like they are looking at Shin Megami Tensei 3 when they are working on Shin Megami Tensei 5. There seems to be a lot of references to SMT3. There is a lot of story elements that look a lot like the ones for Nocturne. So from reference standpoint, from that kind of stuff, I feel like that will be beneficial for you to play Nocturne. That way, if there's any kind of references, if you see anything that kind of resembles Nocturne, I think that will be a cool idea to kind of get an idea of everything like that. It's a great game, and now with the HD remaster, you can play it from beginning to end with no problems or anything like that, and I think it's an excellent game to play. It's one of my favorite Shin Megami Tensei games, so I think it's a good one to play. Well, anyway, moving up at number 2, that's gonna be Shin Megami Tensei 4. Now, Shin Megami Tensei 4 is obviously the next in the line. It's the newest mainline game if you don't count any of the other not numbered games or Apocalypse. But this one, the reason why I put it here is for a couple different reasons, but the bigger one is the gameplay. The gameplay, it seems to be very similar to the one showcased so far in Shin Megami Tensei V. A lot of the same features, such as the fusion system, fusion search, or for just the combat itself, it does look like it is taking a lot of the stuff that has already been established in SMT4, and it is in that aspect I do feel like it just does resemble a lot. Obviously, with this type of series, they do build up from one another, and notice I didn't mention much on the gameplay side on Nocturne, and it's because from Nocturne to SMT4, there's a lot of games in between, and there is a big jump in gameplay aspect. Not that it's very different, but because there is a lot of new mechanics, there's a lot of new things that they have added, and SMT4 is one of the most unforgiving games in the introduction. It can be a little bit frustrating at times when you start the games, but it does a good job as far as introducing the mechanics of the game. I think that it's one of the games that does the better job as kind of forcing you to learn on mechanics, because through Fire it really just forces you to kind of know what's going on, how do you use the mechanics, how do you apply them correctly, and I think it does a really good job about it. SMT4 is also a really good game. You can play this game on the 3DS. Unfortunately, this one doesn't have a Switch counterpart or anything like that. Hopefully someday we get one of those. Atlas, if you're listening, keep that in mind. And it definitely does have a lot of the artwork aspect, if you will, of Shin Megami Tensei V. It does have more lean on more on that direction. I think that's when they switched artists, and you can clearly see the difference in artwork from Shin Megami Tensei 3 to Shin Megami Tensei 4. There is a significantly different style on the art, and now with SMT5 you can see there's a big and even jump on artwork design and everything. So it's a really good game again. You can also play Apocalypse, which is almost like a sequel-ish to SMT4, so I definitely encourage you to play 4 before Apocalypse, just because it does follow up the storyline from 4. It's more of a what-if scenario, so it's not a must, but it's definitely a good game to play, and it does introduce a lot of the mechanics from the previous game, and it does build up on them as well, so also a good game to play. But moving up, number 3, and this one is going to be one that some people may or may not agree on, because there is a lot of discourse in which one you should play. So there's Shin Megami Tensei Strange Journey. Now this one is an interesting one because it was originally released on the DS, and it got a remake and slash enhanced edition, so to speak, on the 3DS. Now the interesting part about this one is the Strange Journey Redux, which is the remastered edition on the 3DS, changed art. It's completely different. It's different art. It has a lot of different demons that were changed or completely newly introduced. There's new characters, there's new storylines and everything like that, and not everybody really agrees whether this game is a good game or not. Some people don't see it as a good game, some people don't care, some people see it as a different game from the original one. Redux meaning just a different kind of game, right? Either way, you can play either of these two experiences. One of the reasons why I put this game is that this game is different from the other Shin Megami Tensei games, from combat to storylines to everything like that. But again, Redux does have the same artist as Shin Megami Tensei V. In fact, a lot of the demons introduced on Redux are also being shown here in Shin Megami Tensei V. So from a demon standpoint, from kind of getting acquaintance of the new demons, kind of getting acquaintance of demons that you don't see in Persona or in other series, I think for that aspect it will be a cool game. Not only that, but A Strange Journey I think is one of the best Shin Megami Tensei games in the series. It can be unforgiving at times. It has some of the most incredibly frustrating puzzles at times, but it's also extremely rewarding when it comes to puzzle solving. It is extremely rewarding when it comes to storytelling. The character, the cast that they introduce is definitely one of the more iconic ones, I think. Every character that you get introduced to is extremely interesting. Jimenez is one of the best characters in the game, by the way. So yeah, it's definitely a fantastic game. It does have different aspects that makes it a really unique experience with Shin Megami Tensei. As a whole, it just does things very differently, but it's a really good game, and I think it's that game definitely worth playing. Anyway, that is pretty much in my list of 3 games that you should play before playing Shin Megami Tensei V. Of course, none of these are required or anything like that, as I mentioned in the beginning of the game. You don't have to play any particular game to actually get into Shin Megami Tensei V. However, I do recommend to play some of them because they're not only are they really good, but they are also introducing you some of the same mechanics. They may make you feel more at home when you play Shin Megami Tensei V, and it's a great game. I think overall you're gonna have an enjoyment experience regardless whether you play these games or not. And this is just my thoughts and feelings about this. I don't want to hear how do you feel about this. If you have played any of the games that I mentioned, let me know in the comments below. Do you like those games? Do you agree or disagree with me? And also let people know in the comments down below if you have any other games that you will recommend to other people. I will say, if there's one more game that I will say that you should play, not a Shin Megami Tensei title per se, it is Tokyo Mirage Sessions FE. It does have the exact same type of UI as Shin Megami Tensei V, so I think from that perspective, it's a closer one looking to Shin Megami Tensei V. But other than that, it's a different kind of game. It does have a different kind of gameplay style and experience and everything. It's still a turn-based RPG, but it's definitely a little bit different from the other SMT games. Anyway, thanks so much for watching this, guys. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye bye.